my motorcycle and my truck, and Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is everywhere. I was taking my netbook on my bike when I toured, but now this little device does it all, and very well, I might add. I can even watch Netflix. I know I will end up with a smartphone, but for now, this does the trick without the monthly data fee added to my cell plan. The Arcos 4.3 is the same size as a smartphone, and to be honest, feels like one, looks like one, and sucks at web browsing just like one. I have used several smartphones, and web surfing is painful. The apps you gentlemen suggest often work well on the Arcos. For that and watching and listening to media, this thing is awesome. Was it Eric who said, "Love you guys"? Well, I won't go that far, but I am very fond of you all. Thanks, Ray. Arcos. I don't know, Ray. To me, I mean, if it works for you, that's cool. But to me, that's too many devices. I want it all in one. And with the 4.3-inch screen on my Evo, web browsing isn't too bad. You know, of course, these guys know I want the biggest screen I can get, but web browsing isn't too bad on these big smartphones. And I don't know, Sean, do you have a problem web browsing on your phone?
I don't really do it a lot, but when I do, I mean, you know, I know what I'm dealing with, you know,
Yeah.
so I take it for what it's worth.
Right.
I mean, it comes in handy when I need to. I mean, if I got to do some serious surfing, you know, I try to do it at home, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't mind.
Yeah, me as well, Ray. You're right. It isn't easy, not fun to do surfing, but going to certain sites when you need to in a pinch, it's they're getting better. But
Well,
thanks for the email.
I'll say the right browser can help, but to me, the biggie is processor speed on the phone. I've seen it too many times. You have a slow processor on your phone or your device and you do web browsing, it is utterly painful. You have a fast processor on that device, it is much more enjoyable.
Yeah, Dora is turning me into a believer on this. I used to think it was all about the bandwidth, but you know, and Jose even demonstrated it when he put his Evo up to his Samsung Epic 4G Touch last show. And Timster, you probably have a good experience with it too.
I don't have no problems browsing the web on my phone. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
There you go.
I think bandwidth does. I mean, it does play a factor in it, though.
Yeah, you have to have
'cause
some.
I know where I work. That's part of the reason why I don't surf, because I work at a factory, so I get maybe 1 bar, or I go to 1x, and it can be a pain in the butt. But I mean, if you got, especially if you're jumping on Wi-Fi, it's snappy, just like a computer. It's fine.
Yeah, but it was crazy different. I mean, it was fine on his Evo, but when Jose did it, he was on Wi-Fi, right? He was getting 13 down, I think, with his Samsung Epic.
Yeah.
And what did he get? Like,
or was he on 4G? He wasn't on 4G?
I think he was on Wi-Fi.
He was on his Wi-Fi to prove, you know, it's just Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi. And yeah, on the Evo, he was getting like 4 or 6 down.
Right.
At the most 6, I think it was 4. And on his new phone, he's getting
17,
like 3 times faster.
That's crazy.
All right, I want to say something on the Evo. If he's running Gingerbread, depending on what ROM he's running, when they released Gingerbread publicly, HTC screwed up and they disabled all the wireless in drivers, and they never did fix it.
Really?
Yes, and that was made public along with they messed up Netflix, and they said, yeah, we fixed it and we'll update it, and they never did update it. And as of I think October 1st, the Evo is now considered no longer supported with Sprint.
They just were holding out, weren't they? Just waiting.
Yeah, I know that it's either October 1st or September. I don't remember. The black one goes first, and then the next month is the white one. I don't remember the date. It's either October or September. So yes, the Evo is. Which doesn't surprise me. The average lifespan of an Android device is 6 months, and that's by the carriers. That's why you see, like, Thunderbolt, they're going to replace it with a Vigor. And people are like, what? The carriers expect you to buy a new phone technically every 6 months if you have Android.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's a little trade secret. If you know, I know some people that work at the carriers, and they'll tell you this. Yeah,
it's funny because that's how often I want to switch mine. Usually, this is from Eddie. He says, "I've been listening to your show for about 6 months now." He actually says lessening, but I'm taking it for listening. To the show for about 6 months now, and I just got my Galaxy S Captivate rooted. I have Titanium Backup Pro running, and it is really cool. I've heard that you need to ROM your. I have heard that you need to ROM your phone. If not, the phone may start to act up if you root and don't ROM. Is this true? If so, what ROM and where to go to get it? On your shows, you have talked about rooting and ROMing, but not all of us are as tech savvy enough to understand the terms and what the advantages are to all of this. In the future, can you explain some of these from time to time for new listeners? Man, we did cover this, and even Eric did a tutorial on this. He says, I enjoy listening and get a lot out of your show when driving around all day. You see, I am also tech, but not in the computer industry, though we are headed in that direction. Also, I came across a company called 10Q, a Chinese company which sells Android-based tablets. Can you give me a recommendation on these tablets? I want a tablet, but I'm too cheap to buy a mainstream brand. Thanks for your show. Oh, first of all, Eddie, go back and listen to the last couple shows. We've done a lot more on rooting and ROMing, and Eric Salse did a whole tutorial on how to do it, where to go. We broke down XDA developers forums and everything, so that is going to help you a lot. As for this Chinese company-based tablets, 10Q, I think I've heard of them, but I have no experience with them. I can't imagine they're good. I think you should. I know if I'm going to buy a tablet, it's definitely going to be a mainstream brand. But what do you guys have to say on either of these points?
I'll say it again. XDA forums, I mean, is a great place to go if you want to learn quickly.
Yes. Dory, you were going to say something?
Yeah, on the 10Q tablet, I don't even have to look at a screenshot or whatever. I'll just say, survey says.
Yes.
The odds of it being worth what they're even charging for it is not good. Yeah.
I haven't used these cheap tablets, but when I first started coming out, I looked at as many reviews as I could for them online, and the majority is just like unusable. This thing is unusable. So it's probably going to be the case with the 10Q.
Yeah, I'll say if he wants literally something to bang on, then it'd probably work.
Yeah. Or if it's going to have one function, like is it going to function as your remote control for your Google TV? Is it going to be your ebook reader? It's like pick one function and maybe it'll do that half decent. But as far as the all-around tablet experience, get a good one.
Or a Frisbee.
All right, anything else on this, guys? Okay, next email is from Jeff, and he says, hey, I heard Dor give a plug for my favorite to-do list. He forgot to mention that you can set reminders for your phone and email. See my below reminder to call about nuts at night and spread some verbal abuse to Chris and SMD. He says, I set this last night from my phone and set the time, and bang, I get it this morning. I like to use it to set reminders for work, fun, or my lunch hour. As you can see below, the desktop app allows you to customize the background from wood grain to some Linux-esque backgrounds, leaves, shapes, etc. Thanks for Jeff, who is Ellis's father. That is Blackhammer.
Yes, he is.
And I did see below, he says, please do not forget this task. Call nuts at night. So he did actually remind himself to do that. But what was the app?
The app is Wunderlist, and he was very gentle on me. Very nice. Thank you, Jeff. I use the app. I did not realize once you create something, you can go back in and edit it, because it's meant for quick entry. Bang, type it, go. Bang, type it, go. But if you go back into it and edit it, you can have email reminders or phone reminders sent to you, and that's, to be honest, what I need.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to use Boomerang, it used to be a free service for Gmail, which I could send myself an email and say, send it to me tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I liked it because it was easy to use. This is the replacement for that now. Now I have something that's just as easy to use, and it's cross-platform goodness.
Nice. It's Wunderlist with a U, right? W-U-N-D-R?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like German, I think.
Gotcha.
Wunderlist.
Sounds like it. Either that or that's an easy way to get the URL they wanted. Thanks, Jeff, for the email. See, I got it right, guys. This whole show I did not call emails voicemails.
For the voicemail.
But I have one more. Let me see if I can do it. We have one more email from Mad Marv. My Evo 4G overheated once when I had it on car charger once. I was running Google Maps navigation and streaming. What was that?
That was me.
Did you say something, or was that a device talking?
That was me talking, and it must have came lower than I said. Oh no, because I had Evo overheat, and it wasn't good. We'll just say it melted part of the phone, and the battery kind of got messed up.
Oh my goodness!
Seriously, the Evo 4G. I'll have the pictures of it. Yes, that's why you said that. I was like, oh no. I've been there.
I've been there too, but not to that extreme. I mean, I've left my phone in my car in Florida in the summer on my little bracketron holder, and I come out and it is literally, the LEDs are blinking red and yellow, going, "Cool me down." It's like freaking out, and it won't do anything until you just let it cool down for a while. But mine didn't melt at least, so that sucks. Marv says, I was running Google Maps navigation and streaming audio at the same time. When the phone reaches a certain temperature, it doesn't charge the battery, and the battery level will continue to run down even though it's on external power. There is also a special icon on the notification bar that shows when the phone is too hot, and that's from Marv.
Nice.
Yeah, mine just blinks yellow and red, I think, the LED, and I can't, I don't see the notification. I don't think it says anything. It just blinks yellow and red, but I'm on a ROM, so maybe that has something to do with it.
It does come up with a notification. It did that with mine when I got it too hot. The best thing I always did is not charge it and usually turn off the phone and take off the cover, cases, anything, and remove the battery and let it cool down, and then plug it. Then I typically would always put the battery back in and then charge it but not turned on. Because that way you don't have the processor running, you don't have no task running, and it's just doing a straight charge.
Right.
There's a conditioning way you can do that. I'd also see about having his battery checked, because after mine did that, they actually found out that my battery was actually bad. That's why it melted my phone. They tested the battery at a Sprint repair store. So he might have a bad battery.
Good suggestion. Marv, check out your battery. Good one, Ellis.
Yeah.
Another way to cool it down is just put it into a cold glass of ice water next time that happens.
Yeah, that works.
Don't do that, guys. I will not take responsibility for your phones if anything happens. That's it for the emails. Let's go over any Android news we have and then end off this show. Who has news?
A little bit.
Ellis?
Hey, somebody talked about the iDroid earlier, huh? Well, guess what?
What?
David Wang has successfully ran a version of Android OS on the iPhone.
Oh, really?
Nice. Oh, that's that guy.
Looks of it. It looks pretty good. So here's the link.
Who's David Wang?
I think he's the guy that runs everything.
He's the famed iPhone hacker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know this guy. Android running on iPhone. Coolness.
He was on TWIA this week in Annoyances, maybe?
He said he released the source and procedure to run it.
Cool.
It's an 8-minute video. I'm just going to try to get to the actual good stuff.
This week in Android show, which is not a part of Twit.
Okay.
TWIA.
There's little tucks in there.
I actually seen that before. I'm tempted to take my iPod Touch and put iDroid on it, Android. I've been thinking about doing it. You have to, I think you have to jailbreak it in the process to get it.
How many devices do you have?
Doing that. How many devices do I have?
Yeah.
I have 5 Android devices, an iPhone, iPod Touch, and a Palm Pre.
Nice. Well, for somebody like you, tears them apart and pulls the chips out. It's good to have them all.
Yeah.
Include my computers and my hard drives and my Xboxes.
Jeez. That sounds geeky, man. I'd like to see that place.
I'm following in your footsteps, Steve.
I know. What with the game hacking?
I haven't tried that yet.
I used to hack NES machines. Ellis, did you have some news in your notes?
I do have some newsy notes, and Timster, I think you're really going to like this. I don't know. I know we haven't talked too much about the NVIDIA Tegra 3, but Timster, this is what is